Hello, this is AnYPony, and welcome to the Chapter 73 podcast for Fallout Equestria Project Horizon with, as usual, Vector Brony. Hello, and welcome back, Vector.
Hi there, nice to be back, and hello to all of you.
Yeah, and we are a little bit late this time around. Basically, my fault because I was out of town over the weekend, or the extended weekend, actually. So, yeah, this is actually it took us a week to finally get together and talk about the new chapter. And I believe there is an obvious pun we completely missed so far.
Yes.
Because in this chapter, we finally went to the moon! Sorry.
At least there wasn't any bananas on the moon.
Oh,
Can you imagine it if they had the
Somber.
Astra stable?
don't, Somber. Don't. I mean, we are not off the moon yet, so he can still do it.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him to go back to the Astra stable and find the atrium and find it full of banana trees.
or let Tom talk about bananas all the time or something. We keep tempting him, don't we?
We're tempting fate.
Oh god. Even worse, we're tempting Somber. Anyways, chapter 73. In case there's a big spoiler sign at the beginning, the one of Blackjack you draw, so everybody should be aware that we are spoiler talking now. My notes, as I already told Vector earlier, my notes this time around are really, really small in number, so I guess, you know what, you go first.
Okay, so to start off, we have the epic battle we've been waiting for against Blackjack versus Rampage. Well, is she Rampage? Yeah. That's the question. The fact that Blackjack was extremely calm at the start of it was really impressive to see. She's come a long way from the start. I mean, she was calm, she was collect, she really tried to get to Peppermint inside. Unfortunately, the Angel was too much in the way for her.
Yeah. I mean, with Peppermint, basically most of Peppermint has been removed into the memory orb, so getting through to Peppermint was a little bit of a stretch on Blackjack's part, but, well, in the end, she succeeded. Also, I was kind of like, with the glass windows, I was like, there must be some kind of protection, right? And okay, there was an automatic shutdown thingy later on.
Yeah, there were the shutters, but still.
Yeah. Also, I must have missed it. When did Moondust become so freaking extreme of a drug? I mean, the plastic thingies were Moondust, or Moonstone or something. So the ones that
like
protect you.
Rings protect them from the innovation.
Yeah. And, well, okay, the Blackjack tried to eat one when she was still super extended Alicorn cyber pony, so...
yeah, but it turned into one hell of a trip.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
It did, remember?
Oh, yes. So maybe... Okay, so I guess we can count drug, Moonstone or Moondust officially as a drug.
She pretty much rolled in the stuff.
She did, but then again, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, there are a lot of drugs who actually work with just the surface of the skin or something, so there is no need to sniff it she probably did inhale it. I mean, then again, she was in a vacuum, so could she actually inhale something to begin with?
Not sure, but I know she got it a lot on her horn, which seemed to give it some kind of mad power boost.
Yes. But yeah, it was a nice battle. Even so, I have to say, I'm quite impressed that Blackjack was able to hold a play. I mean, we know Blackjack used to be so much of a super pony, until recently, until she got into the blank body. And I mean, she started out very, very badass with a natural talent for fighting, even in the very beginning.
But unfortunately, her will of self-destruction didn't exactly help her body very much.
Yeah, not really, that's true. But, she's basically more or less back to a normal pony. There's a certain thing we probably will address a little bit down the line.
Yep, and she still held her own against Rampage for quite a while. Even in the low G fight.
But I have to say what I really like about it is that she needs help, and it's really a close call once again. I mean, she has a lot of close calls.
Well, if she hadn't teleported, she would have died in the hard vacuum space.
Hard vacuum. Oh god, it means it really well cleaned, isn't it? Oh god, I'm still hung up on the joke from the last chapter.
It was a classic.
Yeah.
And of course, Blackjack's idea for actually giving Rampage the memories was actually clever as well. Rather than giving her the memory orb in the Recollector, she just gave her the actual memory she had of that memory. Mm-hmm. A memory of a memory.
Yeah. Memoryception.
Wow.
Wow. But this is actually the first point on my list, which kind of got me a little bit stumbling while reading. A little bit like, can I really believe it? I mean, okay, Blackjack has a history with memory spells. She used them in the past with Rampage, with Lacune, but then again, she would have probably killed herself one of the first times if she wouldn't have been an enhanced CyberPony. I mean, what's the doctor's name? I always forget.
Triage?
Yeah, Triage. I mean, Triage was pretty much like, well, you would have been, without your regeneration talisman, you would be dead now, you idiot. And so Blackjack is not really a natural. She is not the greatest spellcaster, and just the fact that she has a little bit of experience with this particular spell, or with this field of spells, still got me a little bit like, okay, she is able to pull this super enhanced application of it, like mentally fighting the conscience of the angel. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was...
And winning. I was really like, okay, I'm not really sure if I can believe Blackjack pulling this off.
But I will say that Moondust seems to be some kind of power enhancer onto her horn, so it could be that power boost that she received. And then she did burn out afterwards. She gave herself a full burnout of her magic.
And I mean, Sombra pretty much stated that, or let Blackjack state that she does not know what she's doing. She was just doing it by intuition, so...
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess Moondust is our official Element of Harmony placeholder, aka Deus Ex Machina device for this story.
Just added to the list of other drugs that Blackjack's taken in her time.
Yeah. Because it was really like, I mean, basically it was not the craziest thing happening in this story or in MLP in general, but it was still for me like, okay, I'm not really sure if I can buy this. Pulling an advanced spellcaster like Twilight. Sure, she does this shit all the time. Every season's final she does this. But
Blackjack diving into the Phoenix Talisman, pulling out the angel and destroying her?
Yeah. Wow. A bit much. But then again, it got the story going. We got Rampage back, thank God. We got rid of the angel, so... This is, on a bigger scheme, I have to say, yes, this gives Rampage finally an actual chance of enjoying life. I mean, she was somehow...
She can go back to Chapel.
Yeah,
she not be scared she's going to kill them.
I mean, back then when she had her child with... I believe it was with Priest, wasn't it?
Yep, it was.
Yeah. She
was forgetting Fawn as well, the one she killed.
Yeah. But now she has actually a chance. I mean, she loves folds. This has been established. And now she actually has a chance, if she wants to survive, which is still a question, because she's still...
halfway from...
Yeah. But now she actually has a chance to, for example, settle down and have a family and keep it without having to worry about it. I mean, sure, she is still carrying a lot of really, really horrible baggage with her, but... Hey, okay, there's another thing, but even Blackjack stated this chapter she wants to survive.
Which is very comforting.
Yeah.
The one upside with Rampage, at least she could talk to her mother and try and sort things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but really, I like the fact that Blackjack finally reached the point. I mean, we are still not sure if she gets to, survive, but I don't know. Both, yeah, I kind of can see it both ways. On the one hand, I can see the argument Somber brought in the past, that the literal sunshine and rainbows ending of the original book did not have a realistic outcome compared to what the stakes were. The death count was super minimal and everything, and the meaning of sacrifice and everything was played short for the happy ending. And
I agree.
And I can see Somber's arguments there. And I would be like, yeah, it would probably be the more impact heavy ending if actually some more big stuff happens. Yeah. But then again, I don't want to see it. I like Blackjack.
Well, like we learned from Somber, there's still round 3 to go with the Legate. So, fingers crossed for that one.
This one as well, yeah.
But that's jumping a bit far ahead.
Exactly. So, yeah, I just, this was kind of was it a step forward? Yeah, I believe she had this conversation later when she was knocked out or something. When she revealed, when she had the Pony of Light holding her, and she was like, I don't want to die.
Yeah, and plus it was quite... Well, one bit that got me scared when suddenly Rampage talked about 14 of the best Harbingers being with the Cognitum. Mm-hmm. I was thinking, 14? Oh no, we're going into Dragon Ball Z levels of fighting.
Oh, you mean like one after another or something?
One chapter per baddie kind of thing, you know.
Oh god, no!
That's what crossed my mind. I thought, oh no, a whole chapter of fighting 14 baddies.
No. I mean, how many did he manage to X off in this single chapter? The 2 in the train station?
2 in the train station, 2 in the stable, and a fair few in the palace.
So there were 4 in the stable. I actually was kind of confused because the doctor was talking about like, well, it turns out that this and this combined makes quite a deep passing out stuff or knockout. And I was kind of when the 2 in the train station appeared, I was like, really? They knocked them out without locking them up somewhere? But yeah, this would make sense that it actually have been 2 new ones. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, at no point it was stated that they were supposed to be the same or different ones, and I kind of was like, why are they still out and about? But yeah, this kind of makes more sense what you were saying.
And plus, we had the teaser with the what's the device she used when she was looking at people's memory?
I can never ask. I can never remember it. I ask Somber each and every time, and I forget it each and every time. Percepticon something.
Perceptron, that's it.
Perceptron, yeah.
Yeah, when she used that and got the massive feedback, now she's got flashbacks down to Earth.
Yeah.
And we get the teaser about Glory again.
Yes.
Triage and arguing with the name now.
The Professor Doctor talked about the machine that can heal hundreds, or this one. What would Blackjack say?
The science.
Same thing as with Blackjack. Do I want to see her back or not? I mean, sure, I want to see her back because, as I said last time, she is one of the most promising characters, one of the characters who has the most to go for, who has the most future to look forward to. But then again, what about the impact of it? I really don't know what I want.
It's hard to say, but her sacrifice was definitely one that was needed, but then it's... like you, I don't know. Part of me does, part of me doesn't.
Yeah, same
part
here.
Part of me want to be her, the great Glory, who helped save all the Equus, as it's now being called.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a Kirk-Spock dilemma all over again.
Oh yeah.
The needs
outweigh the needs of the few.
Exactly. And Glory being Spock in this moment, which is kind of working because she's a scientist as well. Deep. Okay. So yeah, with the first stage when she kind of got was able to pretty much take over the functionality of the Percepticon, I was like, okay, I can see it. I mean, it was a arcano-magical device, or whatever they call it in Fallout Equestria. And, of course, it was not only mechanical, it was also magical. And, well, she's unicorn, magic, moondust, whatever. So I can... And something one is kind of tempted to forget. The pip bugs are magical devices as well.
True.
In Fallout, they are only mechanical, scientifically, and so on. Here they are actually magical, so it kind of is maybe. Apparently, it is possible in this universe that the magical function of the Percepticon can be transferred into a unicorn's mind, and the unicorn can make a connection to those magical devices everybody is wearing.
Yep, it makes sense to me, and it was a good way of just getting quick flashes about what's going on down the planet. How they're saying that the Legate's actually catching on with his strategy now. So things seem to be getting harder for our folks down on Equestria.
Yeah, true. But then again, we reached stage 2. When it first started, I believe the first one Blackjack was able to hear was Scotch tape. And this made sense. Scotch tape is still wearing a pip bug, as far as I know.
Cool. She's got like ESP now, isn't she? She can read minds.
Yes, and everybody's like with as I was saying, with Scotch tape I could see it because Scotch tape is wearing a pip bug, and it was a device which was connecting to pip bugs.
Now it's just
Rampage already confused me, and then it was P21 was like, no. This was a big issue that P21 doesn't want to wear a pip bug anymore at all. So, oh no, she is now a telepath. Why?
It's more funny with Scotch tape watching going, don't think about sex, don't have sex with Dad, don't think about sex with Dad.
But really, she was thinking about sex with her dad, wasn't she? And with Blackjack, and oh my god, Scotch tape, come on. We already established that Scotch tape sees Blackjack as a mom.
I don't want to go down that road.
No.
There's the road, and I'm just getting rid of it.
Then again, Blackjack could even be Scotch tape's biological mom, going by the perverted mindness they share. But once again, I'm not good with the chronological stuff today. Just one line I had to remember. When Blackjack was thinking loud, like, oh no, I can't use my magic. Oh, I wish my magic would work. And Scotch tape is like, ooh, she can't use her magic. I was like, right, Earth ponies.
And of course, we got to look at the Astrostable. Was it the Astrostable or Lunar Stable?
Yeah. I believe it was called Astral Lab, and it was a stable on the moon, so I guess lunar, so whatever. Yeah, this is also like, okay, we had 200. All the stables who are still intact have 200 history of surviving ponies. I was really like, okay, now we have 200 ponies on the moon. Or ponies living there for 200 years.
And from the sounds of it, some of them weren't actually the blanks. They were actually evacuees from Equestria.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of made sense, but can't imagine how hard it must have been in the beginning.
I mean, sure, everything was falling apart. They had the rockets flying around. Why not evacuate there? It kind of makes sense that they did so. So it is not really something where I would say, oh, my disbelief is not suspended anymore. It was just like, okay, didn't see that one coming.
And it was better than just going into a stable for the blanks.
Yeah, but what I have to say is, why? I mean, we are probably 2 or 3 chapters from the end, so... Okay, we got a Dr. Pony helping them, dying.
Yeah. Dr. Comet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Helps, dies, gives exposition.
Yeah, but not really sure if it was needed. I mean, it could also have been just an automated sick bay with a AI telling them stuff or something. It is not bad, but I don't really see its purpose. Like, okay, we have an ideal, stable colony on the moon.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 99 if it went well. I think Blackjack said, because she recognised it pretty much exactly.
It's the same blueprint, yeah. But
you're right. It is a bit of a funny thing just to crop up in the last few chapters, and it hasn't really got much of a purpose for the actual storyline itself.
Yeah, and
like I said, just to give a bit of exposition about what's going on with Blackjack. Now she's got ESP. Her eyes look like they now glow again.
I believe they said something like this, like, do
like
my eyes
snail
glow?
Skin.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh no, my eyes glow again.
Not again. So yeah, it was more of an exposition stable than anything else. It was just there to give out the details of what's happening to Blackjack, or the moon dust has done to her.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of an explanation thingy, because some of the Project Horizon haters were like, 99 is so wrong and stuff, and we're like, whoa, this is destroying the entire legacy and stuff. And maybe this is Somber making a point about, guys, see, this is the same blueprint. This is how this kind of stable has to work. It was really 99 and the messed upness of the ponies living there and this first incidents with the stallions that kind of screwed things up. It was not the stable. Maybe this was also another thing he wanted to make clear once and for all.
Yeah, it's quite likely there are more intellectual people going to the moon rather than just civilians.
Yeah.
Because like I said, as we've been reading back through the chapters recently, like you said, they had a huge uprising when the Overmare killed her foal, who was a foal, because he wasn't a filly. And that led to the huge uprising of the stallions and that.
This was the reason. I really have to reread it, don't I?
I'm been doing quite well. I'm heading towards the HMS Celestia at the moment in the chapters.
Okay. Yeah, it's really nice. When I see your recent images of older stuff, I'm also often like, for example, one of the most recent you draw from one of the zodiacs, the tech philia.
The Virgo.
Yeah, I couldn't even recall her ever being there. And I read your description of the image, like, one of the first zodiacs going after Blackjack. Really? Who is she? I have no idea who she... Did she really appear at any point in the story?
Yeah, she basically... She tied up a load of ponies actually going after Blackjack, glued radroaches to their backs so they kept fidgeting, and put an over-elaborate trap around with turrets, mines, the works. So basically, she is basically going, you have fallen into my clever trap and you'll never escape of it. And there's now gas in the middle and knock you out.
This line rings a bell, like with this over confident being like, ha ha ha, I might trap him. This kind of rings a bell. It could also be just the one scene from Portal. I'm not sure. Portal 2. There was a nice Easter egg to find with a very obvious trap.
It could be, because she did say, do you have any idea how hard it was to get this trap set up? And no, you're blowing it to pieces. Stop it.
Yes, this sounds familiar. Okay. But I couldn't. Yeah, as you say, I couldn't recall this one incident, and I couldn't recall this character behind it. And I believe at this point in time, I hadn't really realized what the Zodiacs are. I mean, I recall a later time when the Rampage's introduction. I believe Blackjack had been captured by a bunch of Zodiacs, and then it is Rampage who comes in and rescues her.
It was the Zodiac Leo with a couple of the what are they called again? Their name now, never mind. It wasn't the other Zodiac, it was a load of the Picos who joined with him.
Yeah. But at this time, this was the first time I registered the Zodiacs as a group, but I couldn't realize that Virgil was also one. I guess this may be a little bit of a language thingy, since our Zodiacs have different names, so I don't recognize the Zodiac. When there's a character named after a Zodiac sign, I don't recognize them right away, because...
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know them, literally. Oh, well. Yeah, I have to say, when the good moon doctor, Dr. Comet is killed, I had to say it didn't. I'm not sure. Maybe it was different for you. For me, it really didn't leave any impact at all. It was just like we have seen this so many, and I recall. I mean, I believe I said this in one of our podcasts earlier. Like when it happened at Thunderhoof, Thundercloud,
Thunderhead.
Thunderhead. When it happened at Thunderhead, and Blackjack for the first time thought, "Oh my God, the wasteland came to Thunderhead." I was really like, whoop, there goes my headset. I was so shocked. My earplugs fell out. It was really like, oh, fuck, oh God, it really happened. This time around, it was like, oh yeah, Pony died. Okay, moving on. It is.
Yeah, seen it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Blackjack's brought the wasteland to the moon.
Yeah. Okay, it's a little bit further away, but hey, so far only one pony died. Who cares? Go on. It really, this was something in general about this chapter, why I also took so few notes. It was a good chapter, nothing bad about it, but it didn't leave much of an impact. I mean, even the last chapter left more of an impact for me personally, even so it was just sitting in a cockpit and...
Going back and forth to the again. It was good and interesting, that was the point.
But this time around, it was just like, pretty much really only getting to stuff. But even the fighting was like when we have the fighting over the Sea of Taint. No, not Taint. The other, Flux. The battle over the Flux theme with enemies dropping down and firing and everything. I was like, oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I felt the same. I was like, come on, hurry up, move along. We want to see you fight Cognitum.
And I mean... The stakes might be really, really high at this point because we are getting to the big, big climax. But I mean, Blackjack is a normal pony again. We saw this is like watching the Terminator, and then going back to WWF.
It's not the same.
Yes, and I mean, sure. On the one hand, it's like, but strangely enough. I had the feeling with Blackjack versus Bad Pony King.
Yeah.
Yeah, even so she was already just a normal pony again.
To be honest, I thought she was going to get herself sorely beaten by him.
Yeah.
Nice sort of fight.
But then again, in this fight, the thing was that it wasn't easy for her. She really, really had a tough fight and on. And while it is not an easy fight now either... it still was like, like you said, please. I have seen it. It's cool. Okay, now when is stuff happening? When is the story going on and stuff? I guess it's a good thing we are at the final stage of the story because by now I believe we are really just
building up now to the big fight between her and Cog.
Yeah.
I have to admit though, when P21 got shot in the back by the sniper, that did actually make me stop and go, "Oh wow!"
Yes,
I was like, "Damn."
Yes. Same here.
I was like, oh my God, we might just lose him.
And is this so shortly after Scotch Tape just thinking like, I don't want a dad die, don't want a Blackjack die, I don't want to be alone. This one, and I'm still not sure if as he stated, the bullet is still in there, so we don't know if he's really in the clear.
Exactly. I was like, that literally just threw me from the loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they got him going again for now. Okay, I give you that one. Yes, this one scene got me a little bit shaken up as well. Like, P21, come on, buddy, don't do this all to us now.
He needs it more than anybody else.
Yes.
He's been through so much.
And he just discovered fatherhood. But then again. He has probably the shortest life expectation from everybody. I mean, because I believe did they name a number at one point how long his expectation probably is, but it's super shortened. It was like, stable 99 stallions are usually so drugged and abused that they wouldn't survive much longer than their 21st button anyways. So
yeah, I was wondering about that when I was reading the chapter. I was wondering, does it mean their age, the 20 dots, or does it mean they're the stallion in line? You know, like when a foal's
I believe it's
Pony Foal's Born.
Yeah, I believe it's the line.
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, I thought about this myself a few times. Like, okay, so we have at each time 40 on-duty stallions, unicorns and earth ponies. We probably have the foals, the colts, who are still kind of in the gray. They are not allowed to do school and stuff, but they are at least not yet in the production cycle or
in training. Probably.
Yeah. But once, so yeah, where's the point where they actually switch it? Then it's the 21, the 21st gets killed off when another one rises up. So I guess there is an age mark at the bottom, or when a new one gets born and they have the in-between one.
That's what I was thinking. There must be a set age limit to when they can actually start in the breeding queue. Then that must mean that once the new one's in, the oldest one must go out, no matter what their age is.
Yeah.
So if you see my logic, kind of thing, it's just like a moving queue.
Yeah, exactly. But
had a bumper crop.
But it was stated that they pretty much are very broken physically after their time of duty anyway, so not much time left to begin with. But yeah, this one got me a little bit. And then, of course, Tom.
Yeah, that was just funny though. Oh, sorry, I'll turn down the volume.
Yeah. You can call me Tom. I mean, I know that Somber and Project Horizon is super anime inspired, but I have to say this chapter felt so anime to me.
Like I said, I was just imagining like 14 tier bosses to fight.
Thankfully he didn't do that. That's a good thing. Yeah. On the contrary, they kind of axed them off rather quickly in over the Flux Sea. I mean, as I said, I didn't really count, especially we don't know how many Rampage actually dealt with. Yep. Because this happened off screen. But yeah, we don't go for the boss fight thingy. But yeah, the giant alicorn-faced rock named Tom. I mean, okay, it kind of makes sense because we had a Soul of a Star embedded there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, now we have a talking stone. It's just like,
it's like I said, it's a bit kooky in a way.
It should have more impact, but I just read it and was like, okay. What now?
So, 5 pages into the next chapter, we'll have a conversation with Tom.
Yeah. And Tom will probably explain why he needs to be thrown on the earth and destroy the Eater of Souls.
Was he a willing victim, or was it just he's being forced into it? I don't know.
The thing is... Okay, what was it? We had Goldenblood being influenced by the Eater... Yep. To go up there to the moon to create the besouled moonstone, to throw it at the Eater, so that the Eater can eat the soul of a star and pretty much consume the rest of the universe. So
actually, the star's fairly innocent when it comes down to it. It's more the Eater of Souls that's the monster.
But now we have this. Yeah, the Soul Eater was pretty much behind it all. But now we have Tom, who is actually like, no, you have to shoot me to kill it. So it's... Yeah, I'm quite interested. What is Tom going to tell? Because right now, Tom is doing exactly what the Eater of Soul wants. And Tom is pretending to do the opposite. So one of them doesn't know what's going on. Either the Eater screwed up or Tom is stupid. Or evil, whatever.
Exactly. All will be revealed.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, those were pretty much my... thingies I had to say about the chapter. Do you have anything else in your notes?
Not really, no. Once again, we pretty much crossed the entire board. Because like I said, it wasn't exactly a riveting chapter, it was just a progression chapter.
Mm-hmm.
A, B, and we got to C.
Yeah. But it was like, but the way usually the way there was kind of like, maybe it is because Sombo is really determined to get this stuff done. That it really felt like, okay, we are just going through it. We have those fight scenes, which are, as always, nicely choreographed, but it has this. I have seen this feel to it.
It's all stuff we've seen before.
Yeah, we had more spectacular ones, and it's like, okay, Blackjack falls, she grabs something, she shoots somebody, she's in a pickle, oh, there comes a grenade out of nowhere, and the fight with Rampage in the beginning, this was an exciting one again. But later with those, then again, those are 14 dudes of the, what's the group called again?
Harbingers.
Yeah, of the Harbingers. I mean, they are literally no actual obstacle. I mean, Blackjack is mowing down
They're basically red shirts. They're basically the red shirts.
They turn it red. I mean, she is by now on a level where she mows down brutes like nothing. And brutes were introduced as those really menacing, immortal, super
cyber zebra, Pegasi,
exactly.
unicorn things.
Yeah, the actually, even their first introduction was, I believe, in a flashback with Twist when she came across 4 of them. Yeah. And was like, oh, and it was a big deal. Like, oh my god, they actually exist. Those brute thingies, they are not dead, not alive. And look how they fall by now. It's so like, and
it's like many things on their own. One can be quite intimidating because you really can see the potential of the one. The second you multiply it by 1,000, it loses all effect.
Yeah, and it happened really. It literally happened. They literally got multiplied by 1,000, and now they can fly and do magic. And they don't really look intimidating anymore. Even so, Blackjack is a normal pony again. They are just like, and Harbingers, really Harbingers have never been stronger than the Brute to begin with.
Yeah. See, they've actually. You're a Doctor Who fan, aren't you?
Yes,
of course.
I am.
They have said the same thing about the Daleks. When they brought out the Dalek episode, when it's just one Dalek in that bunker, it was a brilliant episode. Extremely intimidating Dalek. It was very threatening. The second they brought it to the end of the season, then there's just a horde of Dalek. It just lost the actual effect itself.
And he's standing there, smiling in his shield, like, "Hello there!" And they are shooting exterminate. And
I think one bad guy on his own is really good. You multiply them by 1,000, the effect of their intimidation just loses it.
But in credit to Doctor Who, the next, or was it the one after, the next season final, when the Lost Earth, when the Daleks built the super engine out of planets.
Yeah, that was cool.
When it was like, okay, a transmission is coming in. Okay, put it on the screen, and you just see this visualization line for audio, and
your voice is different. Yeah, your voice is different, but its arrogance is unchanged.
And it's just exterminate. You don't even see them. You just see those audio lines, and you hear exterminate. This was like, whoa. So it still can work, but you still have to do it very, very menacing. You really have to create a build-up and mean something. But yeah, end of the first season of the new Doctor Who, they were like pathetic.
Yeah, it kind of floundered. And I did like Christopher Eccleston. I thought he was a good Doctor.
Which one?
Christopher Eccleston.
To be fair, my least favorite one of the new ones. Just not a bad one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he got me hooked for the show after all. But I always had this kind of like, not sure where to put him feeling. Maybe because he only got one season. Who knows? But with Tennant, as everybody says, his energy was just
go.
Everybody was just taken with him by the energy and everything. Enjoyed watching him. Nevertheless, Smith so far my favorite of the new show.
Yeah, I haven't thought much of Peter Capaldi. I mean, he's good, but he seems too much of a grumpy sod at times.
I can work with grumpy old dudes. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. I'm still not warm to him either, I have to admit. I mean, on the one hand, I like that they try to portray him as weak somehow, that he still really struggles with a lot of stuff. Then again, I really loved the scene where he finally pulled out his inner badass for the one scene with the two-dimensional beings.
Yep.
After he finally... Oh, God. Before that, it was just really comic relief of him in the TARDIS. But after that, when he came out, it was like... Whoa. But then again, Matt Smith did this in his very first episode. How long did it take probably to do this?
But we're getting off topic, I think.
No, really! Then again, I'm not sure how much we have left for the last topic. I mean, we could start with speculations about the future. So yeah, we have now Tom, who is going to reveal one thing or another. Maybe Tom actually knows something the Eater of Souls does not know, and it actually is the right thing to fire him. After all, who knows? That there is something we didn't know so far, Tom knows. Because, as P21 said, he cannot stop the process of firing Tom. So either... Oh, they can delay it long enough so that Tom will simply not hit.
Yeah, they can delay it by a few minutes.
Yeah, but then again, we have seen those catastrophe movies with asteroids coming to the planet. Yep. It still is, even if it crashes into the ocean, it's still enough to really screw up the world and cause
tidal waves. Exactly.
Yeah, and then I mean, we lost the dinosaurs to one comet, so even if Tom doesn't destroy the world instantly by melting with the Eater of the World, I still see a problem with a big comet being fired at Equus. So
definitely. Of course, we hopefully have the long-awaited battle between Blackjack and Cognitum.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't flounder and gets done too quickly.
Then again, I don't really know how this battle is supposed to go, because Blackjack is in her normal form. The only edge she literally has is the telepathy with her friends. So maybe she's also the babies. The babies are still inside.
Hey, maybe she can basically do mind games with Cognitum.
Maybe. So yeah. So I mean, they need to save the babies. I'm just saying this right here now. They need to save the babies.
My money is still on Blackjack somehow returning to her original body, and they do something with the cog.
This could be because that she just managed to do the entire defeat the angel in Rampage's head thing. So
yeah,
until this point, I was like, okay, how is this going to work to begin with? They pretty much need Snails, because Snails is the only one who can do Souls magic at this point. But Snails himself is out there fighting in one of the brood bunkers. So my idea was that, they kind of overpower Cognitum. They power her down. I mean, you just need to drop one EMP on her after another, and she stays pretty much incapable of doing a lot of stuff. Then they need to keep her in this state until they get back, the battle gets won, and then Snails can perform the mind switch thingy. But this is kind of an inconvenient long way, and it kind of needs a lot of people to survive until the very end.
Yeah. Hang on a bit. When they did it the first time, they used like a headset thing on the blank.
Yeah, it's a supercomputer which
was
there.
They plugged Blackjack in via wires.
But did they actually plug her in right? They put her in a computer. I believe they transferred her via computer in the blank.
Yeah.
They had but then pulled her out again and put her in the computer just to mess with her.
Yeah. The second they put her in the blank, they basically screwed her over and put her back into the computer, and then Steel Rain blew it up.
Yeah, and then somebody else, I believe, who was it? The
kid
cyber...
from the little child had Blackjack's mind in her.
Right. She had it in her for a while because she was also hooked to the computer, and then they managed, with the help of a dying horse and Sweetie Bot, to transfer her into the blank somehow.
Yep.
This was, yeah. And was a little bit of Snips alive there as well? No, I believe he was.
Yeah, his like skull thing survived until he burned himself out on the electricity.
Yeah. It's so hard to keep track of everything. How does Tumblr do it?
Hey, I'm having fun going back through the chapters.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a lot of stuff that I missed, like P21 is Medic's addiction.
Yeah. I believe when it was revealed, I was like, oh, right, there could be something to it. So, this one was actually hinted on very, very early, I believe. Yeah. So, still, I don't really know how the big battle between Blackjack and Cognitum has to look. Because, well, she is a super cyber pony, and
With
Blackjack...
shields and 2 robots hovering around her.
Yeah, I don't see the big problem with the robots. They are just really a little bit of an extra obstacle, but...
2 quick shots of sexy and they'll be down.
For example, yeah. And another thing, going back there, because when you say 2 shots of sexy, so the robots go down, and then I was kind of like, oh, what about they having some regeneration ability? Which brings me, sorry for backtracking, but brings me back to the flashbacks. Which is also an aspect where I came with the entire, it feels so anime to me. When it was, I mean, it has been established earlier, and it was kind of bothering me earlier, and now I just had this moment of like, with how super everything is, how over the top everything is. I mean, we at the wreck of the Celestia with the tanks, there's once again one of those tanks, and I was recalling, all right, those tanks have regenerative abilities as well, as we have seen earlier in the times when there was only one tank, the Deus tank. And now we even have multiple tanks. We have those bunkers who produce unlimited brood. It's just so out of proportion. It's so... Where does...
Yeah, because those bunkers were pumping out Zebra through like there was no tomorrow, and they're really horribly mutated and deformed.
Yeah, and everything of them also has regenerative abilities. All of them have implemented. If you consider the state of the world before the war destroyed everything, before the war escalated, and the bombs fell. Over the path of Project Horizon, we learned that pretty much the basic technology for all those things has been there. We learn of other projects, Project Steel, Project Chimera, and so on. Yeah, and we learned that they all have been there in their prototype forms, and experiments have been done. And then the war really just escalated at the very crucial time before any of those things could be implemented in a bigger scheme. We had the prototypes running around in the form of Deus, and the Deus in the form of the blank tree, which was in the original Chimera, where we got Boo. But now we have those bunkers who all pretty much are ready to produce. There are bunkers by the Zebra company, aren't they? Like 4 stars in the original one. We also had here some kind of underground double agent thingy.
Yeah, we've got all these bunkers pumping out the trees of life with the brood.
Yeah, and it's just so it's what you said earlier about have one, it's menacing. Multiplied by 1,000 and it becomes just meh. And here we have it with everything. We have it with regenerating cyber ponies / zebras in this case. We have it with the tanks. We have it with the trees. It is on a certain note, I have to say, it is good that the story is over soon, because by now it just became such a big bubble. It will either burst on itself in an anticlimactic way, or it will burst in a big explosion thingy, which will be satisfactory.
Exactly.
I really hope for the latter. And I mean, it's a good thing that we are so close to the end, because it is just like, the flashbacks became uninteresting, kind of like. There is a tank, and you are like, on the one hand, it's an indestructible tank who can regenerate and everything. On the other hand, well, they still fight it and kind of do it in a good way. They kind of get refugees away and everything. Like,
Yep, like I said, hopefully only a couple of more chapters to go, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, and yeah.
I'm hoping I'm around to see it, personally.
True story. Yeah, and I have to say, I'm still, even though the enemies kind of got lost their menacingness, their interestingness, I'm still in to see what happened to everybody. That's what pretty much what gets me going. And maybe big epic fights as well.
Yeah, that's it. It's my last real big favourite bad antagonist that came out of this story. It has to be Dawn. When we first met her in the chapel, you know, when she was basically there to see Glory, she talks to Blackjack, they go to the Bluebird Manor, and it just all just takes off from there. She just shows herself as this huge, this cyberpony monster, and they start fighting. To me, that was really impressive. That little build-up. And then when you see her again up in Thunderhead, you think, uh-oh, here we come for the big fight. To me, I just thought she was a good bad character, but she wasn't there all the time. She was extremely intimidating, just in the way she behaved herself. Yeah. And by God, she gave Blackjack a run for her money.
Yeah. And now we have the Legate, who is pretty much stronger, but he feels just so uninvincible. That you are like, I mean, I just have to remember the James Bond joke he did last time. Anyways, the time before. With the freezing and everything. But yeah, he is literally invincible, immortal, and everything. And so right now there is nothing anybody can do
to really stop him.
Yeah, but then again, we know that something will be found to stop him. But yeah, it is like, oh well, okay. I mean, there was a little flashback hinting towards that he's horribly beating up somebody at the point. I mean, he pretty much crippled Goldenblood already and is now fighting somebody. There was a flashback about it, but it was in the middle of Blackjack's extreme flashy vision, so it was really, it was really just in a flash and gone. But yeah. Anyways. Nevertheless, looking forward to big fight with Cognitum. Looking forward to what is going to happen with Tom. And
what's going to go on with Tom?
Yeah. Well, and also fingers crossed for P21 and his short wound.
Yep, exactly. Lots to look forward to. Lots to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true. So, I guess that's it for today. And, well, chapter 74 next time.
Yep.
This is AnYPony saying, see you soon.
And this is Vector saying, take care.